So today's video is going to be about Aries moon signs and their mothers. Aries moons are going to be rather active, and they're gonna want to get what they want when they want it, and it has nothing to do with saying that they are narcissistic or any of that. It has everything to do with the energy. That's Aries energy. It's like, okay, what I feel is what I want. They associate what they feel to what they want. So when they start feeling a certain way, they may feel like being active is the way to appease their emotions. And they could have learned this with dealing with their mother growing up. Their mother could have constantly had them active in certain things, sports, activities. Here's a bunch of toys. Here's a bunch of work. Get busy. You guys seen this chore schedule? Get the chores done. And it could be because she was pretty busy in work or what she had to do in her life. Now, I will have to say this, because keep in mind that this is going to go one or two ways, because it's depending on what house your moon is placed in. All of that matters. So this is just a general analysis. This is a general statement about what Aries moon relationship with their mothers could be like. It could be to where their mother puts an extremely large amount of focus into them, or they don't. Okay, they don't. They put a large amount of focus into themselves and what they have going on, and because of that, the child or the person with the Aries moon is going to really be left there to fend for themselves. And when I say left there to fend for themselves, I'm not talking as if the mother is not there. No, the mother could be around. The mother could have raised this individual in everything. That has nothing to do with it. It could be to where the mother is just so busy. You might have other siblings and they have things going on as well. The mother could be so busy that, or have you so busy to that to the point of where they're just giving you what you want. It's like, here, you're crying over a toy. Here, get it, take it. You want to go play outside? Go play outside. But it was more about filling the need in the moment versus building like a strong emotional support between you and the mother. Now, I've also seen this to where the Aries moon child definitely gets what they want. Like, they could definitely be the center of the mom's attention over the other siblings, because the other siblings may or may not require, depending on what's going on with them, the other siblings maybe or may not require as much hands-on or attention. And let's not mistake this, an Aries moon sign person is a go-getter. An Aries moon sign person will make you see them. So a person with this placement could just be like, mom, pay attention to me. This is what I want. This is what I need. And can throw some serious tantrums if they don't get it. And because of this, especially like if the other siblings aren't willing to do this or doesn't handle it that way, because of this, the mother could just really put a lot of attention into the Aries moon sign person, because the Aries moon sign individual is going to be the person that stands up and takes charge and says, no, I want this now. That could get you really far in life, depending on what some of your other placements are. It could. Okay. But in a relationship because what happens is when you get old enough to have relationships with other people, getting what you want or being the center of attention, you're gonna feel like it's supposed to happen that way out in the world. And when it doesn't, it'll be hard to maneuver. You can easily go into feeling all kind of ways, getting into disputes with other people, feeling like it's like it has to go your way, it has to be about you. A lot of stuff you can divert the energy, you can divert it back onto yourself very easy. And the partner that loves you will say, okay, I'll put up with it. But on an inner level, they could really feel like they're not really being heard, or their emotions is not being taken into consideration. This one is very tricky for me. Even though we're talking about the sign of Aries, Aries is pretty much what you see is what you get. It's not like that with the moon, because the moon is about emotions going back and forth. And we talk about the energy of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. It does, this energy can slow the individual with this moon sign down quite a bit, to where they have to be pushed. Their mother or the person that nurtures them have to push them and have to say, okay, you really want to join the basketball team? You really want to join sports? Like, cheer them on, encourage them, go to the practices with them. Okay, I'll go with you. You know, because this person could get stuck in feelings, and instead of like taking time to just feel them, like I said, they'll want to do. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind. And depending, where it's tricky is that your mother could be there, and your mother could be supportive, and your mother could push you along. Sometimes the mother could push you along so much as to where you feel like, oh man, I don't really want to do this, but mom really wants me to do it. And therefore, I feel like I need to do it. Even if you try to voice yourself and say that you don't want to do it, your mother may say, oh, well, you need to because of this, and that reason. And then it could turn into resentment later when you felt like you didn't get to do what it was that you wanted to do because you followed what someone else was telling you, like what you were pushed into. Okay? And it could be a situation to where your family situation, or your mother could run things like someone in the army. Like it had your mother could run the household like an army almost. You know, like boom, 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 ABC, let's get this done. You already knew what to do. Pushing you to be like a leader, pushing you to say, okay, I got to get stuff done. Either way, there's that getting done, that getting things done spirit. I shouldn't have to tell you more than once. That thing is going on there. Like, you should know already what to do. I told you this already. And just so happens, if you are on the side, or you follow on this side with the Aries moon, to where your mother was more like about selfish in herself, like she meant the best for you possibly, but work where her feelings were, where her needs were. You could have learned, okay, well, you know what? I got to tend to myself. I got to make sure I'm feeling good. I got to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do, and that it gets done. Okay? And that could just, so many times with dealing with the Aries moon, either way you look at it, could turn into resentment. And that feeling, or that, like, as they get older, that feeling of, I don't need anybody else. Like, I'm with you, but I don't necessarily need you. And they will be quick to leave someone or something behind, if, depending on the moon, depending on the sun sign, other places, but they'll be quick to leave something behind, or someone behind, if they feel like it's not mapping out, or it's not matching up with where they're trying to be, or what they want. They can also get very upset, and then the next minute be over it as well. So that comes along with it. And this could have been characteristics that they seen their mothers experience or go through. It could even show up as their mother going through depression, bouts of depression, or up in energy levels sometimes, down in energy levels sometimes. All of those things. But the good thing about this placement is that if you ever can get your emotions to match your actions, just like sit with your emotions sometimes and understand that you don't have to react to them all the time. Sometimes just sit with them. You can really give yourself the time to sink your teeth into some profound things, ideas out the subconscious that comes forward that you could actually act on and become become like a professional or a person of leadership, the head of the company, just who people look forward to. And you can encourage other people and help other people do the same thing. Now, if you have a child with this placement, I say this. Yes, continue to push them to be their best, or encourage, not push necessarily, encourage them to be their best. Allow them physical outlets. Like, these kids would be very good in sports or something that helps them with their balancing out their energy on an emotional level. Because a lot of times through interacting with something, it allows us to release built up, pent up energy. But if you're the parent that falls more on the side of not like more having so much other focus and, you know, really focusing on yourself and what you have going on and being so busy in life to where you can't really put a lot of that attention onto this child, just consciously make an effort to say, okay, like today, I want to have a conversation with my kid. Let's talk about some things and help that kid or the child with displacement on the emotional level by feeling like they're connecting with you. And it's not necessarily about what they're doing, just about how they're feeling. And if you're the parent on the side to where you're mostly like pushing them, try to communicate with them sometimes to see what it is that their interests are as well. Okay? Other than this, the mother to this child or this individual could be leaders or bosses on their own right and have so many demands placed on them. It's hard to shift their focus to just the kid alone. Okay? It just depends on if there's other siblings involved. All that plays a picture. Or they could just be like the number one person to this child. Like, man, like the child could really look up to their mother for some sort of inspiration and support. And they can watch their mother and they can end up exhibiting traits of their mother in their own lives. Okay. So it could be challenging because this is Aries moon. So they're going to want to keep trying to fight for a position, you know, so remember that. So make it to where you're there and they don't have to fight for any of that. You know, you're there, you're accessible, and you just allow them the chance to explore their emotions and say, you know what, don't get angry, or fine, be angry, but no, you're going to sit with, I want to know how you're feeling. Okay. So let's just sit with this for a second. Okay, so this has been Aries moon signs and their mothers. I'll be back.